The Harper contains foul language and adult material. If you are easily offended and thin-skinned, you should hit the stop button now. And if you are not a complete idiot, let's get this party started.
Hike up your motherfucking panties.
And pull them to the side.
This is the Harper.
Fuck you. No bullshit.
Welcome to the Harper, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jake, as always with my sidekick, Adam.
That's right.
That's right. Production assistant, Jake, coming through on the corner there for you.
What's up, Jake?
Howdy. We got to get you a little tag phrase, man. We need to get the Jake line rolling in there. Like Boomtown or, I don't know.
Something hey, it's got to be your own. Whatever you say.
Yeah. So
I'll go with howdy for now.
Howdy?
Howdy? I like it. Hi. Hey, dude. Remember Hey Dude when we were younger? TV show?
So what's new from the 10 minutes ago when we just finished the last show?
Hey, man, I'm going to tell you this. There is actually something that I forgot to throw in there that I got to start with. Short hop, but I'm just saying. We mentioned it that we talk about bad drivers all the fucking time.
We do.
I drive for work. I have
daily.
I have no shortage of this, but fucking A, today I'm fucking driving home, listening to the last week's podcast, trying to see where we got to make some changes and get some stuff, get it lined up the way we want it to. And I'm just cruising along in the right-hand lane, doing my own thing. I'm like 2 miles above the speed limit. I'm going like 72 and a 70. This piece of shit Dodge truck flies right up on my ass. So we're like, I can't even see his license plate, and then goes flying around me. Well, he deserved a nice salute as he went around me. You know what I mean?
No double banger?
Right. So so this guy goes into like Tourette's fucking penguin mode in front of me. He's going for like a mile going down the road. Like, yeah, I threw my fucking middle finger up at you.
He was cheerleading.
You made an asshole move. So literally, this guy fucking takes off. He's going like 85. And I'm like, no, son, you're not going to run away from this. Fuck this. I knew that I had another good fucking 50, 60 miles to roll down this highway. The odds of this guy going the same place I am, not good. So I kept following him. Sure as hell, he got over, and I saw we was getting off. So I sped up, and I got him to get on the way by. He gave me one back, and it was like, I feel bad for you. You're a piece of shit. You probably don't even know it, and I really feel bad for your wife if you're fucking married.
He couldn't escape the second bird.
No. That's the one that makes me feel better. Like, just in case you thought the first one was just rage-induced, the second one is because you really fucking deserved it. So, be careful out there throwing double birds, though. That's my disclaimer on that. You got to be careful. I'm not going to tell you the smartest thing I've ever done, but once I knew he was getting off the highway, I made sure he was past the point of no return to where to get back on and catch me, it would have taken some work on his part. So
yeah, I got to be careful with that because I'm a hothead in the car.
Yeah,
and I want to blast the bird.
Yeah,
but I'm also like 5'10", 5'9",
sure.
5'10", and not that I'm going to back down.
Yeah,
Mama didn't raise no bitch.
Right, boom.
But I got to be careful who I'm throwing the bird to.
Yeah, gets a little out of hand sometimes.
Shaquille O'Neal would snap me in half. So,
but speaking of feeling bad for that guy's wife. I think that we've all been in a ton of weddings over the years, right?
Been in or been to, yeah.
Right. And along the way, you're going to see some funny shit happen. I mean, you go to 20, 25 years worth of weddings, like they don't all go silky smooth like you see on TV. You know what I mean? So this is going to be some of the better wedding stories we have of some shit that we've seen along the way here.
I got to be honest with you. I struggled with this one a little bit.
Really?
I mean, I've been to a handful enough that as far as like things that have like been burned into my like membrane.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Really?
We'll see.
Well,
I mean, I got some decent stories, but nothing.
I might find some stuff in there.
I might have to lean on you on this one.
Okay, well, that's okay. I'll actually start off with the very first wedding I was ever in. Kid that I went to high school with, him and his high school girlfriend decided that they were going to get married at the age of 19, right?
Wow.
Yeah. They were freshmen in college together, had been high school sweethearts, so they got married on Christmas break the one year to where everything was set up ahead of time. I was super nervous. I'm 17 years old, never been in a wedding. I feel like it's a whole bunch of pressure, even though I didn't really have to do anything. I was like the third guy in line,
right?
And we get up there, and it's a December wedding to where it shouldn't be bad. I'm literally standing up there in like the front of the church, just sweat running off of me. And I'm not talking like food or like athletic working sweat. I'm talking like uncontrollable faucets. It's literally like dripping off my face while they're talking. At one point, the guy behind me taps me on the shoulder and he hands me a fucking handkerchief. He's like, dude, you're a mess. I'm like, All right. So like I feel like a complete idiot there. I'm up there fucking like dabbing my head and stuff. So they're getting ready to be done. Like I can feel myself. Like I don't feel good at this point, to where they're wrapping up. The guy that's getting married is a friend of mine. He looks over at me right before, like, they've already kissed. They've introduced who they are. He looks over at me in front of everybody. He's like, "You gonna make it, Kiba?" I'm like, "Yep." So then for like the next hour, everybody's like, "Are you all right? Are you not feeling good?" So I was like, "Well, I've had a virus, blah, 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 blah." I wasn't going to be like, I'm just nervous. Like for all the sports and stuff I've done in my life, talking to girls, singing in public, I've never been that nervous. Like that was the height of my nervousness at that point in time. So I felt like a complete fucking idiot. So I'm sure
what made you so nervous?
I don't know. Like I was up there in front of everybody, and like this was like their big moment, and these pictures are gonna last forever. And it's like I didn't want to do anything stupid or look stupid, and I failed epically.
I mean, I know all about being nervous,
Right.
At weddings.
Sure.
I'm not bragging, but I was actually a best man in 3 weddings.
Nice.
Does that make me like the greatest guy ever? And probably not.
There's a lot of us that filled that role multiple times.
Yeah.
I'm probably around there.
Well, there's a joke with some of those. But the first official best man that I was,
Yeah.
I had to give this speech, and I'm telling you what, half of the family I knew,
Yep.
the other half I didn't know, and I was shitting and sweating bullets. I mean, holy fuck! I'm like, I know I'll feel better when this is over. I know I'll feel better when this is over. And I read what I was to read. I know I read it horribly.
Yeah.
I got through it. My friend's dad got up, and he's like a talker, right? And
Oh, yeah.
he's
showman.
He's on after me, and I'm like, thank you, take it.
Right.
Give me the beer.
Right. Don't want to be following that guy.
No, thank God I didn't have to follow him.
Right. You're not gonna follow a professional on something like that.
But that was
A little bit nerve wracking for you, huh?
Oh, from that afternoon,
Yeah.
when we hadn't even gone there, I'm like finalizing it. Like, this is so shitty.
Right.
This is so shitty. I'm finalizing it. From that point till when I spoke,
Sure.
my stress level was through the roof.
Yeah.
So I've been there.
Yeah. I had one time I was the best man at my brother's wedding, and one of his nieces and nephews were kind of playing off to the side, and they were getting kind of loud, to where like you could hear them more than you could me. It was just funny because I made a little bit of a joke out of the whole thing, and it went over well because I was like, giving that real heartfelt, my brother's been my best friend since I was a kid, and I couldn't be happier for him and his wife. And there's kids on the it's just like, it was like, well, this is going well. So I'm sure that there's way worse stories than that. When people freeze up and say completely stupid things that are up there. I haven't witnessed one of those. For all the good stories I haven't seen the ultimate crash and burn. I will say this though. I get it that girls love each other and things make girls cry. But I mean, is it 90% or higher that the girl giving the speech has it written out on paper and cries every fucking time? I mean,
I don't know.
It has to be somewhere in that 90 percentile.
I don't know. The second speech I ever gave, I did much better.
Did you?
Of course, it was my cousins, and I knew almost all of the family. Maybe it's just because I had a comfort zone.
Yeah.
But did all right with that one.
Well, I'll tell you one of the craziest weddings that I've ever been to. We had a guy that was a friend, but like not one of those best friends to where we were definitely just guests of the wedding. It was a Greek Orthodox wedding.
Ooh.
Now, this is in no way taking a shot at anything about Greek Orthodox. If that's your thing, that's your thing. I'm not hating on it. Dude, no bullshit. This wedding was over 4 hours long.
It's like a Catholic wedding.
No. I've been to Catholic weddings. You can get out of a Catholic wedding in about 2 for a fairly.
Well,
I've been to a
depends.
couple. I mean,
Depends.
For a fairly standard
You're
one.
there a long damn time.
Dude, this thing had 2 different sermons. I don't know how many songs. Stand up, sit down. It was like head, shoulders, knees, and toes for 4 hours straight. To where it got to the end, and I'm like, this fucking blows. But it's like as soon as it's over, it's almost like the family knew what you were about to go through. The greatest spread I have ever had at a wedding reception.
Sure, because it's like the test.
Yes.
If you can stay here, look what you've won.
And it was incredible. Top shelf, everything, open bar. I mean, for hours. I mean, this thing went till like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, just off the freaking chain all the way. The food, traditional Greek food that was actually cooked by the one family, absolutely amazing. So if you ever have to go to one, get through it. Be happy for the people that are going. But, man, what you got coming at the end is definitely worth the payoff, man.
well, they should have a rule. Hey, just remember, if you leave early, you don't get to go.
Yeah. If you can figure out a way to RSVP for the reception, then you're in there like swimming.
Right.
Right. So that was a pretty good time.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it's one of the only few like kind of off the beaten path ones I've ever been to when it comes to that. So, my first wedding was it was one of those things to where the ceremony and stuff was completely uneventful. Hashtag horrible mistake. The stupid things that you do when you're young.
It's okay.
The reception turned into one of the great wedding reception shit shows of all time. I'm pretty sure. There were 2 different women that got so wasted that they left in the back of a pickup truck. One of those was the mother of the bride. So that was, and I'm talking like an hour into the reception. Like food hadn't been served yet, and mom's getting taken home. We had a couple guys that got into it. Somebody made a racist comment that was completely ridiculous, and he made it to a gentleman that was married to a black girl that we were very good friends with.
Of course.
So the bathroom stall paid for that, to where that took a little bit of working out with us and the people that owned the hall to make sure that we weren't paying $5,000 to redo a bathroom. And then the creme de la creme of the whole thing was we had open bar for hours. A couple guys decided that when it was over that they weren't done. So they drove to a neighboring town, continue to drink at a local bar, get completely shithoused, and the one guy, I won't say him by name, he hopped in his car, drove straight up the hill in the town he was drinking in, and at the top of the main hill it T's. Well, he didn't take the T, man. Went straight through into a garage.
Money.
Crashed into 2 vehicles that were less than a year old.
Oh.
Fucked his face all up, but was sobered enough from the adrenaline from that he got out and ran. He hid beside a water tower for
Good
2 hours
God.
while he waited for his parents to come get him.
Are you making this shit up?
No, dude.
'Cause you can't make this shit up.
Dude, I'm going to tell you what, like you can track this person down, and him and I have talked about it several times to where busting his chops about it. He didn't like it for a while because he kind of got in trouble.
Kind of.
But the funniest part of this whole thing was like 3 years later, the same fucking guy did the same fucking thing again to the same fucking house. No bullshit. Crashed it again in the same house. So now if you go into this town, if anybody that knows who I'm talking about, that's a local listener to the show, you can drive up to the top of that hill now. They have taken, because this house has been fucked up 3 times. There was somebody else that did it years ago. They have walled off where the garage was. There are 4 concrete pillars where the driveway used to be, and they moved the driveway to the other side of the house.
So the next one is getting fucked up.
Yeah, they're gonna have hard times on the next one for sure.
Wow.
But yeah, so it was entertaining to say the least on that one for a couple different things that all added up into one wedding there.
Well, my wedding was a little bit the opposite.
Yeah.
Actually, everything went really well. I had my cousin as my best man, and it was good. But while him and I were getting ready at my house,
Yeah.
or no, I take that back. My wife was at my house. I spent the night over at my dad's. Not supposed to see the bride.
Sure.
Even though we're living together.
Right. It's funny how that works.
Yeah. Okay. Tonight I'm going to go stay over at my dad's.
Yeah.
So then I get up in the morning. I know she's gone. She's getting all,
Yeah.
done up for the wedding.
Sure.
And so I go back home. My cousin meets me over there, and we got a few hours. I'm like, you want to drink some beer?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, because he's the one got to do the speech.
Sure.
So he's a little nervous.
Yeah.
And I got to get fucking married. Drink a few beers, and we didn't have a lot. We had 2 or 3 beers each, just enough to take the edge off.
Mm-hmm.
And then, waited probably about an hour and drove down the road and got to the church and got all ready, and it was everything was going fine, and there was really no problem. But then, here comes my wife down the aisle, and she meets, and we're embracing there, and the pastor's talking, and she whispers to me, she goes, "Have you been drinking?" And I'm like, yeah?
Yeah.
So, what are you going to do? Yell at me in front of all these people? She's like, all right, whatever.
I think that's actually become like a prereq. I mean, pretty much every wedding I've ever been in, like we end up getting a bottle. Typically, we like Gentleman Jack is what we'll use for it, and everybody has a couple shots before we go strolling out there down the aisle. So I think it's a lot more common than you think.
I'm
man.
sure it is.
I mean, everybody takes the edge off. I mean, you don't want to get to the point where you're slurring through your wedding, you know. But
I mean, didn't have to say that much.
right.
But
The repeat after me gets a little
I don't know,
tricky
for some
sometimes.
reason when she's like, asked me that, I'm just like, yeah,
Right?
I guess you got me.
Sure.
But actually, to follow up with the reception,
Yeah.
we kind of had like where we had a couple close friends that hadn't been talking, and they were both going to be there.
Oh,
We
man.
knew everything would be civil,
Yeah.
but we didn't know. Okay, well they're going to leave quick, and the other group will stay.
Sure.
And we had some family that were kind of fighting amongst themselves. Do you know what? It was like for that one hot minute. It like brought everybody together.
Yeah.
And everybody was like everybody said for years, wow, that was like everybody was just mending at your wedding reception. So
Yeah.
but I mean, it didn't last forever. But
Still, though,
for that moment, it was like,
you
wow.
take it. Like, that's a good one.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
So that's a happy story.
Good. I like
Happy
stories.
fuzzy feel good.
Right? I had a good friend of mine. Was a good friend. He kind of moved away, and we've lost a little bit of touch. But his bride to be had been telling everybody in the wedding and stuff that she had a big surprise.
Oh boy.
A big surprise going into the wedding. So we're all
First
like,
thing I would think is she's pregnant.
right. Well, she was. I mean, that was the reason for the wedding at a very young age. But she kept telling everybody before the wedding, "Oh, I have a surprise. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome." We're like, "All right." So we're all up there. Everything's happened. They played the music. All the bridesmaids are up there, and they open the doors, and she comes walking down the aisle with her Jack Russell in her arm instead of a bouquet, and we're like, "What the hell?" So like, we kind of expect them to get down to the end of the aisle, hand the dog off, because once we kind of thought about it, figured it out, the maid of honor was holding her flowers too. So we're like, okay, she's gonna switch out. Nope, takes the dog right up all the way with her, and the preacher starts talking. This dog decides he is not a fan of Mr. Preacher. He obviously knows the groom, because they're a couple, to where he's been around the groom for forever. Dude, every time the preacher talks,
And she's not putting Mr. Patchy
nope,
down.
Not handing him off to the fam. Nothing, dude. The whole way through, literally, this thing's barking the entire ceremony. Like, I'm trying to not piss my pants and laugh like uncontrollably, like chewing on the inside of my mouth so that I'm not outwardly like laughing my ass off at the situation. Dude, goes to fucking kiss the bride at the end. We finally get to kiss the bride. Fucking leans in. The dog starts barking at him and like flaring teeth at him. It's like, this is not really the memory that you want.
I'm gonna guess that groom,
Yeah.
while the dog's barking, he's probably thinking, "Put the fucking dog down.
Right.
Give the fucking dog to somebody else, you dumb bitch."
Right. I mean, in that moment, it's like, this is supposed to be like the greatest moment of your life between the two of you. And it's like, I'm going to resent you for the rest of my fucking life.
And
for
he's
ruining
probably
this
thinking,
moment.
as soon as you lean in, that fucking dog is gonna growl at me.
Yeah.
And it did.
Yeah, it sure as fuck did. So that was one of the stranger things I've seen at a wedding. It was like, that's a terrible fucking surprise.
Common sense, people, don't do that.
Yeah, don't ever do that.
So instead of the bouquet toss, did they kind of just throw the dog over?
Should have thrown the fucking dog.
That's what we're really wondering.
Don't get me wrong, Peter. I love dogs, okay? But
Right.
don't bring them to your wedding.
Yeah, don't. I mean, the whole thing was just bizarre. We were just glad it didn't piss in the church because that's what I was waiting for. I'm like, if this dog takes a 1 or a 2 right here in the sanctuary,
No, that's what should have happened. She puts him down right there. They're gonna take some pictures, and the dog just goes.
right. Next thing you know, somebody steps in it. Like, it's just a mess from there downhill. But
Yeah, no good.
you got a kick out of that one. You got any more? I've got a few more to roll through here that were
I
good.
can just have a stupid one. You're talking
Okay.
about friends getting married
Yeah.
at young ages because they get their
Yeah.
significant pregnant.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't supposed to be the best man, and this was just a impromptu type wedding.
Yeah.
Go to a little pavilion in a neighboring town, and the pastor comes up. Nothing gaudy.
Yeah.
Just quick. They weren't spending a bunch of money. They spent more money on the reception, which was fun.
Sure.
But our one friend couldn't make it,
Okay.
and he had to work. Well, I had to work too, but I took my day off or
Sure.
my half day, whatever I had to do,
Yeah.
and we kind of gave him some shit for that.
Yeah.
But he was the best man, and I was the next best friend, and so guess who got to be the best man?
You got bumped, huh?
I got bumped up,
Man.
even though I didn't. There was no speech or nothing involved.
Yeah.
I mean, we were all like 17, 18.
Sure.
But then I felt so bad because in recollection, I should have just said no to this part. So they didn't really have anything. They're young. They're
Yeah.
both working, local jobs and stuff. Nothing major. And they're like, so we're gonna go to the drive-in. You want to come? I'm like, I'm not doing nothing. I'm like, what part do you? They're just married. You don't go to the drive-through the driving with them, but I did. I was the third wheel watching a movie.
On the night of their wedding?
Yeah. I don't even know why they asked me. It was so
Did they had some plans in store for you, or were you a wedding present that was trying to get given away?
No,
there,
we
or-
were all sitting in the back of the pickup truck watching this stupid fucking movie, and I'm like, I should probably go.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That's like the awkward moment where she's probably like, no, don't, no.
Why are you asking him? Now, we were such a tight group that
Yeah.
it was actually really cool. But at the same time, as I look back, I'm like to myself thinking, why did you say yes?
Yeah,
Even though we're all really good friends.
right.
Don't go to the
Yeah,
fucking.
that's one you don't get back, man.
Yeah, I don't get that one back.
Man,
And neither did they.
no, I've never been a third wheel on a wedding night. So if you ever tell that story again,
Well-
that's all you need to start with. I was the third wheel on a wedding night one time. Like, whoa, what kind of wedding were you in? Just don't say that in front of Mrs. R. She'd have your ass for that.
Oh, it's all right. it was PG.
Yeah?
The movie was probably as well.
Sure.
Who knows?
We had somebody that we all know mutually. She used to work with us, and she got married not too long ago. And very, very nice wedding. They had a little champagne hour beforehand, before everybody went in there. It was a small wedding. We got in there, and the groom came down with his two guys, and they get down there, and we wait about 1 minute. There's no like preamble song. The other girls are already like to just walk in, and they get up there. She comes down, and it was like, do you? Yes. Love you. Rings. Done. Dude, I'm talking like 4 minutes. We were like, that was incredible. Like, it just was like so incredibly
I'm sure
fast.
most people were like high-fiving, although they're probably like, we got dressed up for this?
Yeah, well, I mean, we had a great time at the reception and stuff, but it was just one of those things that was like, I felt like they did a wedding because like neither one of them wanted to be up in front of like the public for a half hour and standing there for the whole thing. And
Right.
But you know what it's like, you did that for your people though too. Like, we really appreciated that. Like, don't get me wrong, your wedding's beautiful. We're excited for you that you're getting married. You know what I mean? But like, I don't need the pastor to give me a sermon every time. Like, that's one of the things that sometimes it's like, don't start the fucking sermon. You know what I mean? Like, you can tell a Bible verse or two,
Yeah.
something that sets
Well,
up
it's
what
a
love
lot-
and marriage is.
It's like it's weddings and funerals, very different
Right.
venues,
Yeah.
but no one wants to be there longer than they have to be.
Right. And like, what makes me think that is we actually heard a guy one time that was talking about like, we brought up tithing in another episode, like when you're supposed to give 10%. He was talking about that during their wedding. Like, are you begging for money? And like in the middle of their wedding ceremony? I just want to make sure that like we're listening to this right. So, we had one other episode with a preacher that was bizarre as hell. Friend of mine got married, and her aunt was actually a minister, right? But she had cancer. Lovely woman. I don't mean anything negative against this woman at all. She was a lovely woman, but she had cancer to where she had been on a lot of cancer medications.
Right.
Dude, no shit. She did the wedding like 3 times. She would get like 2/3 of the way in and then like backtrack to like 10% in. And she kept doing this. She literally asked if anybody should have a reason that these two should not be wed, please speak now or forever hold your peace. Dude, at least 4 times, probably more like 6 or 7, to where,
So you've been on both spectrums.
yeah, dude, it was the most awkward thing in the world, because that this lady is doing this because she loves her relative. She wanted to be the one to do the ceremony for her, but it's like, come on, you guys, like, let's get this wrapped. So finally, Sean, the guy getting married, sorry, I just threw the first name out there.
That's okay.
He leaned in, he's like, can I kiss my bride now? And she's like, I think that would be a good idea. So where it was kind of funny that it worked out in the end. But so we teased him. We're like, dude, if you ever get divorced, you're going to have to get divorced 4 fucking times. Like, the first one's not going to count. You're going to have to get through every one of those. So we got kind of a kick out of that.
That's funny.
Yeah. So
Jake, you haven't been married yet. Do you have any wedding stories?
No, but I will in the future.
Okay.
I feel like we're giving you some advice on the. I see you taking notes over there. Like, don't do this, do this. Don't bring the dog. He seemed a little crushed when we brought that up. Like, damn it, there goes my fucking surprise. No, I'm just kidding.
There will be no collection plate
Right.
at the end. There will be no
None.
dog.
Yeah.
None.
Yeah. So 2 short ones, and then I'm going to save the best for last.
Okay,
Obviously.
I'm ready.
One of the things that I encourage people when you go to a wedding, I feel like everybody's got a role at the wedding. You got 2 people that are getting married. That's their job. You're the people getting married. Enjoy that. The families give people away, do unity candles. They're a support system for the entire thing. You have your minister, your piano player, your limo driver, whoever else. To me, if you are not super close with the people, I mean, even if you are moderately close, but you're not in like the super tight inner circle, one of your jobs is to make their reception awesome.
Sure. Yes.
Like, don't go there, sit at the table with the 4 people that and don't speak to anybody the whole time. So this is what I call the that table effect. This is something that we've adopted years ago to where every wedding that we go to. Now, this is not to say that we make the wedding about us, but like we do our best. We get everybody up. We get people doing rounds
Right.
of shots, kicking it the whole time. And you wouldn't believe how many times we've had at least 3 of them recently that like they come up to us or like we get our thank you card like you guys made our reception so great. And it's
Exactly.
just, you know, get off your phones, quit worrying about the things that are going on out there in the world and go support those people and have fun. Trust me, you can't look any stupider than anybody else when you're out there dancing. Get out there and cut a rug and have I hate that so much when you get to a wedding and it's like, I'm not going to dance. What do you mean you're not going to fucking dance?
I hate that too.
You're at a fucking wedding.
Because it was my cousin's wedding many moons ago. I was probably 15,
Yeah.
16. That's like where I realized that I enjoy dancing.
Yeah.
Because I got out there. My whole family's out there. I'm like, all right, I'll go out there. And I'm like, holy God, this is good.
Right.
I'm enjoying this. So ever since, and like you,
Yeah.
I'll get my kids out there, everybody. And,
Yes.
and now I'm not lining up shots usually, but
Well, not with the kids. That would make you a shitty father.
but you know, I 100% agree that, and I can even remember being 18, 19,
Yeah.
going to friends that have graduated before us,
Yeah.
going to their weddings, and be doing the same thing.
Sure. I mean, especially like if you know any of the like the older women of the group and stuff like that, you grab a couple of the older women, take them out there to get them to dance and stuff with you, know, to kind of bring everybody
Right.
into it. And it's one of my favorite things about doing it. You know, if you can make the experience better for them and everybody else to give them something good to look back on,
Yeah.
you know, you feel like you've succeeded.
Yeah,
You know?
haven't been to a wedding in a while.
Oh man, we had 5 of them last year, and
You really enjoy them.
I really do. But I mean, it was almost like it was getting to the point where
I mean, 5 is too many in 1 year.
It was just so. The weddings themselves were all great. I literally, to everybody that knows me, knows the weddings that we came to last year, I genuinely enjoyed every single one of them. There wasn't one that I didn't have a great time at. It's all the other things that lead up to it. So that's 5 weddings, 5 bachelorette parties, 5 bachelor parties, 5 bridal showers. I mean, it's 5 of everything, you know, to where you're going to end up in 20, 25 days wrapped up in all these before you're said and done. So it was a bit of a hectic year, but like I said, all great weddings, great couples, people that we love. So it worked out okay. So real quick, our wedding was great. It was just our immediate family. But I think I've mentioned before, we got married on top of Niagara Falls. And what they don't tell you when you look at the brochure and the great pictures is that you can't hear anything up there.
Huh?
Yeah. See, exactly. To where we could hear the minister could hear us, but even like the best man and the maid of honor couldn't hear anything. To where like everybody was just kind of like standing there like, are you guys done? Like, what's going on next? And then the best part, like I said, it wasn't anything incredible, but just to tell a little story about my own, we have a picture that's like the family picture in front of the falls. Dude, the wind is howling. They tried for like 5 minutes to get this picture. Everybody's hair is jacked up. Their shirts that are like blown to the side. People that are holding their dresses down. I mean, dude, it's just the biggest hot mess ever. But it's fun because it was ours. You know,
Right.
to where it
Well,
worked out
and
well.
you look at that, you'd be like, God, do you remember that? And they're like, yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
So
Go ahead.
I got one left. So anything that you want to add?
No,
And
well-
then I'm just going to finish it off with the coolest thing I've ever seen at a wedding.
No, go ahead, because I'm just going to add some advice after you're done. So
Okay.
Go ahead.
So, girl that used to work with us, was friends with her. I wouldn't tell you that we were best friends or anything. Did a low key wedding, you know. It was at a little outside gazebo, but then the reception was at a VFW. So, wedding was nice.
I've been at one of those.
Everybody had a good time. And I've been to plenty of events at VFWs. They're usually fantastic, you know. They've got nice little party rooms in the back, you know. Beer's never expensive if they're
Sometimes
even
it's
if
just
not
one
open
big
bar.
square room.
Right. So we, everybody's having a good time. A couple of the cousins that were there, this family gets a little bit into the back home, you know, to where a couple cousins started like ralphing outside off of throwing down way too much moonshine, and to where like that kind of got to be a little bit funny. And at one point, where the bar was separate from where the actual reception area was, to where you had to go in the bar to get your drinks and go back out. What the, we hear this guy in the bar? What the fuck? Now that's a reason to go walking in that direction.
Absolutely.
You know, unless you hear that preceded by a gunshot, you know, like you're going to go that
What
direction.
the fuck? Holy fuck. Yeah,
Right.
you're going to go check it out.
We fucking walk in there, man. The father of the bride is leaned against the bar. He's got a button-up shirt on, which apparently, like, this is the first time in 20 years he'd worn a button-up shirt. This thing is unbuttoned down to the navel, pants all the way off, standing there in his fucking tighty whities at the fucking bar because he was hot. So just fucking standing there, dude. The rest of the night, He wouldn't listen. Like, she tried to get him to put his pants back on, went and got him a pair of shorts. Fuck that shit.
So
I'm
he
fine.
was shit-faced.
Oh, he was drunk before the whole thing fucking started. But literally, this old man ran around for fucking 4 hours in his fucking tighty whities. He was like, this has ended up fucking bad. So it was the coolest thing I've ever seen like that actually happen, you know?
Wow.
Great people. They're still married together, you know? She jokes about it, you know, if you ever see her. But, yeah.
I don't think
you
I've...
can't get that one out of the
I
memory
haven't
bank.
been to a blowout wedding reception like that where people are just getting schnookered.
Oh, really?
I mean, I don't know. I just haven't.
Dude,
I'm missing out.
you got to, man. We need to throw a vow renewal or something. Then
Maybe
for
I'll
ya.
be that guy.
You need it for your
whenever
vow renewal.
When my daughter gets married in 20 years.
Oh man,
Maybe I'll be that guy.
Father of the bride, it up.
The daddy in his tighty whities taking them off because I'm too hot.
Don't, because I'm anticipating that I'm going to be at that, and I would rather not have our friendship get that close.
Okay, well, you know the hop. I'm going to give a suggestion
Yeah.
out there to wedding, Jake. Maybe one day not. But whoever is planning a wedding, this is just my personal opinion. I would suggest not going like real super far. Like you said, you went to Niagara Falls. That's only 4 hours away. That's not that far.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like to a beach where people have to, I don't know, just these extravagant on the beach. Or I even have I knew somebody that went to Scotland to get married in front of the castle. I mean, fortunately, the lady she had quite a large bankroll, was shipping her family over.
Sure.
Hey, that's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
If you can transport them yourself.
Right.
But if you're expecting a bunch of people to get on an airplane and shell out $1,500 just
Mm-hmm.
for your wedding, I mean, that's kind of a dick move. Don't you think a little bit?
It is.
I actually went to a wedding here in New Jersey over the summer.
Really?
I was coming back from Myrtle Beach, and so we were able to just drive straight to New Jersey. But it was 7 hours away from here.
Yeah.
So we had to pay for the hotel.
Sure.
But the good part was the bus showed up at the hotel. It took us to the church. The wedding went on. Couldn't hear a thing. Similar to Niagara Falls. Big church. No microphone. We were 2 rows back. Didn't know what was going on. When everyone stood up, we stood up. We walked out.
Right.
Bus was there. Then we went to a local brewery in town.
Oh, that's fun.
Everyone got off, got drunk, hung out. But so our only expense really was the hotel. They were able to provide everything else.
Yeah.
Right.
Then the wedding was just so-so because you didn't hear anything.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it was a really nice wedding and a beautiful place.
Right.
The hard part of that though is that drive home the next day.
Correct. I couldn't go too far. Couldn't drink too much because I knew I had to come home. I hadn't been home in 11 days and left my dog at home.
Really?
No, my dog was with my
My dog.
Say-
brother, but
You better have a good system for that. We're gonna have Pete all over our ass before we're done with this night, aren't we?
No, he's gonna have pee all over his living room.
So yeah, there's just a little bit for you about weddings, kind of what we've seen. I'm sure that you guys have seen some crazier shit. Don't be afraid to drop us a line, comment on one of the posts.
Send us a fucking email.
Yes, let us see a little something that's gone wrong. I'm sure that there's some way more epic stories than that, but
What's our email, Jake?
it is theharperguys@gmail.com.
But
So
send us a something.
right. So along with the things that we've seen at weddings, I think we all spend a pretty fair amount of time in public, as much as home is your little your sanctuary. And when you're out in public with humanity, you can't help but see some fucked up shit or do some pretty fucking stupid shit yourself.
Yeah, you might partake.
Yeah. So this is the dumb shit in public portion of the show. So whether it's about you or something that you've witnessed, give me something. I got to tell you, just to build the suspense a little bit, this fucker to my left has got one about me, and I do not know what it is. I've been racking my brain for the last hour and a half trying to figure it out. So
Yeah.
I apologize if there were any animals or people that were injured in the making of this story ahead of time.
No, nothing like that.
So, all right.
You want me to start?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm sure that I have forgot more funny things or stupid things that I've done in public, but the one that comes to my mind, that is forever burned in my mind, my wife and I don't know if we were married at the time. If we were just married a couple years. We're going into a Lowe's lumber store or whatever.
Sure.
What are they called? It's not a Home Depot because there's a Home Depot.
It's a home improvement store.
Home Improvement. Lowe's Home Improvement.
Man, come on, Bob Vila.
Sorry. And so we're actually going in the lumber portion. Like you can go in the main,
Yeah.
but they're like the big doors, the lumber, and
It's called the yard.
I'm a real impromptu guy.
Yeah.
If I see something, it could just happen like that.
Yeah.
I did this was like if I was being prosecuted for this, there would have been no, there was no thought,
Yeah.
no meditated.
Sure.
So we're walking in, and there's a register right there, and here is this guy with his wife, and on his shoulders he's got these. I'm thinking they're like 16-foot pieces of trim, so they're small.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're not, but they're like flimsy and they're bending over, and he's got
Sure.
them on his shoulder. They might be like 12-footers. They're pretty long.
Mm-hmm.
And he's standing there, and the one is pointing towards the entrance. So, growing up with Matt, I've talked about Matt 1,000 times on the show.
Baker.
He always do shit like this, and we do it back and forth. Well, the funny thing, you walk in, and I tapped the end of it. I tapped the end of his rod. Not his wanker, his trim. We'll call it trim. And I went, oh! After I tapped, I held my eye and like screamed out a little bit. So it looked like I ran into it.
Yeah.
And then I'm holding my eye. I'm kind of like, what the hell, And then we the guy's wife turns around, slaps him on the shoulder, and says, I knew you was going to hurt somebody with those damn things. And we just run around the corner, and we are laughing so hard, peeing our pants because of that fucking lady. She was such a bitch. And I'm sorry, dude. If that was you out there.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's pretty funny, though.
It was funny.
I mean, that's kind of risky, though, fucking with a stranger like that. I mean,
It was.
I don't know, man. I don't know if that's the smartest thing that you could have ever done.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
no harm, no foul.
I guess that's true.
He thought he hurt me.
Yeah. One of the things that my family will tell you is I've had a propensity over the years to fall down. I get wasted and stumble and shit, and it happens, So it's been years ago. I had mentioned a while back that I rented off of my uncle, right? Well, in between the place that I rented off of him and his house, there was a fence. So I'm walking over to give him the rent check one day, and I'm right at this fence. I mean, it's only like knee high, and he's like, hey, I look up, right over the fence I go. I eat it, and this is right on State Route 585, major highway, right? So he's laughing, so I go over and talk to him for about 10 minutes. I'm walking back across. My Aunt Gail is like, hey, I go to turn around. I eat it again.
Were you drunk?
No, I wasn't drunk at all. I eat it going back. My uncle's eye, this guy had just turned on to 585, so he was going about 10, and he sees it, and he starts honking his horn and waving at me. I'm like, yeah, I supplied you with the story for the day, man. You just saw me fucking eat it in my own yard. So it wasn't all the way in public, but when somebody that you
Close
don't know
enough.
has a reason to make fun of you, like, that's kind of a shitty moment. At least it was for me. Like, fuck you, you don't even know me.
I have a little fall down story.
Yeah?
So me and a guy from work went golfing this past summer. And it's our first time golfing in probably 5-6 years.
Yeah.
Haven't golfed a lot. So we go out and we're, it's not a rainy day, but it's wet out. And we're on the 8th hole, and he's getting a beer out of the golf cart. And I drive. I just let the best drive of my life out. I'm wearing my work shoes, which are flat bottom, just dress shoes. And I slip, and my feet just go in the air, and I just land right on my back. And he turns around, and I'm just laying there. He's like, what are you doing? But the guys on the hole next to me, they're on the ground laughing in tears. They can't believe that happened to me.
Sure.
So we get back to the clubhouse afterwards, and we pull up, and the guy, the guy that watched me, he goes, hey, are you that guy that fell on the 8th hole on his back? That was like, and then he calls for his buddy in the clubhouse. He's like, hey, man, come out. This is the guy that fell on his back at the 8th hole.
Right?
So Scott's like,
Kind of a
"Ah,
celebrity,
man, I wish I
right?
would have saw it. Yeah. So.
The falling man. It's ridiculous.
I have a story on the golf course.
Okay.
This was, I thought I heard him bad. I was golfing with my dad.
Yeah.
And we're riding on a cart, and I don't know. I think it might have been the 8th hole over at Loyal Oak on the 3rd 9, and you kind of drive over this ravine, and you can lose your ball pretty easily. So we get in the cart, we're driving over, and I'm driving, and I'm going left and right, and then I'm going to go left, and my dad at the same time pops up and out to where he's like his head is above the canopy. like he's gonna look. He's looking around for the ball, but it was right as I turned.
Oh no.
So he just at this time he's probably like 68, 70 almost. He just does this beautiful feet to butt to back and over, and then just stands up.
Yeah.
And he just says, "That didn't even hurt." I don't know. Weird.
Dude,
I thought I heard him though.
We have a friend of ours that's a great guy, pretty large in stature, that has played a lot of golf over the years. You know who I'm talking about here?
Think.
Yeah.
We're gonna have him on the show, right?
Yeah, we are going to have him on the show. I'm not bringing this up on the show, though. We were playing in a golf outing years ago, and he saved the group by he nutted a drive, huge drive down the middle. The guy that was driving his cart, so he's just cruising in the passenger seat, This guy's looking for his ball. He drives right past it, and instead of being smart and nope, he locks it up into the turn. Dude, out he goes. Big dude just rolling across the fairway. He gets up. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" We're like, "Oh no, you poked the bear." So the rest of the day, he used to hate driving. He would never drive the cart. He was just like, "Fuck it, you drive." Do the rest of the day, get the fuck over all day long. It was great. So you have to ask him about it sometime. He'll get a kick out of it.
So he ate it, huh?
Oh yeah, and like that, I was feeling bad for the whole situation. Like, man, he's gonna kill you if this goes bad. But
Yeah.
my favorite, but not favorite. So we're in Walmart, and we're looking for bandanas. This old lady is walking through, and she's shopping. Dude, we see her from about 6 feet away trip and eat it, and she's just like, "Ah!" Dude, starts crying out. I'm laughing so hard, I'm almost in tears. This makes me a terrible.
Why is
person,
she
I know.
crying out?
She fell. She literally
Oh.
just ate it going through the clothes racks, and she had to be 75, 80 years old. Dude, I just turned to walk the other way. I couldn't do it. I couldn't help. I wasn't going to be like, "Are you okay?"
You can't laugh at them.
No, I couldn't help it.
Not in front of them.
It was an involuntary thing. I didn't purposely laugh at her. My body was just went into convulsions. Holy shit, that was great.
Yeah, we had a lady at work fall
Right.
out in the plant.
Mm-hmm.
She was going out the door, and going to the vending machines.
Yeah.
And her heel stuck.
Yeah.
And she was on all fours. Wham! Just like that.
Sure.
I'll tell you, it was off air. And yeah, the first instinct is, holy shit.
Yeah.
Then you go over, you make sure they're okay, and then you walk away, and then you just lose it. You're like, that was so fucking funny. But no, thankfully she was all right.
Yeah. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. Funny shit.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't have a lot of them for me. I'm sure that I've done so much dumb shit, but most of the time I was drunk when I did it.
Yeah.
To where it probably registered as normal.
I've got one when you were drunk when you did it.
Okay.
No, this isn't. Oh my god!
I just feel the shame overcoming me already, and we're not even into the story yet.
Do you remember in Mesa we were on the little back patio of the? There was a little fire pit there. Your wife to be. I don't know if you were married yet.
We weren't married yet.
Okay.
No, Heather was.
And do you remember we had the guy bringing us beer, and you called him
James? What was it? Punjab. Oh, I did. I called him Punjab 6 times too. He was a Middle Eastern fella.
Oh, you didn't call it to his face, or maybe you did.
I did. I totally did. You got me on that. For anybody that doesn't know, Punjab was the handler guy in Orphan Annie, the butler that had the burqa on and the whole night. It was bad.
The guy was a shitty server, and Jake had enough. I think we were waiting for a half an hour at one point, and he's looking around like, "Come on, Punjab."
I think the first time that I said it out loud, he was right there then, to where the fuck it kicked in, to where it's what's this guy gonna do? Not give me a beer? Which
he was a little 12-year-old looking guy. So
yeah.
Anyways, that was funny. Yeah. I laughed hard at that.
I mean, I have done dumb shit like that in public. I think I told you I had a guy that wanted to fight me once because I insulted him over his beer. He got a Blue Moon and there was fruit in it, so I was mercilessly just taking his masculinity away one sentence at a time. Basically telling him how he shouldn't be allowed to fucking have a pair of balls and stuff like that. He wanted to fight me, and it was comical, so he left. But sorry, my mouth gets me.
That's okay.
It gets me some recognition once in a while, but it's all in good fun. It's never at a point that I'm really trying to be an asshole. I just get a little obnoxious sometimes, I guess.
Here's something. We used to do this, and this must have been around the ages of 16 and 17.
Yeah.
When everybody's getting their license, or maybe even 18.
Sure.
We thought it was fucking hilarious, and it was. We had a lot of nonstop laughing moments.
Yeah.
We do the drive-by mooning.
Oh yeah.
where your buddies are in the back seat and they're both mooning a car beside you, and you know there's fucking probably sacking ass, and that lady's just looking at him like, holy shit, and just the pure reaction. It just that's the kind of comedy that I like.
Oh yeah.
The reaction comedy, that
The shock and all.
shock and awe.
Don't they call that a fruit salad
Uh,
when it's pressed against the window? Isn't that what that's called?
I
Is the
don't know.
Is the fruit
But
salad?
There must have been about a year and a half where we just hey, moon 'em, and they get up and we just. Sometimes you don't even have to look; you just know it's what the expression's going to be.
That's terrible.
Uh,
Not bad though. I mean that's good, clean, clean enough humor. Hopefully it's clean.
yeah, hopefully it's
Hopefully
clean.
hopefully you're not leaving messes for anybody. You know.
Goat.
Yeah, no.
Goat, not anyone.
Oh my goodness, what else do we have here?
One of the cool things that I saw one time,
Yeah?
I pulled up to an intersection in Worcester, and middle of the summertime, and I had the windows down, you know, just sitting there chilling, and it was one of those to where like the left turn lanes were going to where I was stopped, but then the lane that was going straight on the other side was stopped as well. I watched this dude drop his kickstand, put his bike down, walks up, starts talking shit to the guy in front of him. And next thing you know, he reaches in the car and just
Goes to blows.
Dude, going to town. That was great to start. What made it better? Old lady gets out of the other car in front of that guy that's getting beat up, comes over and starts smacking the biker guy for hitting him. And he kind of like shook his head at her and said something and got back on his bike and off he went. So that old lady saved that kid's ass from getting whooped pretty severely.
Yeah, continually.
I mean, it looked like the guy was raining some bombs down on him. It's like, just shut up, stay in the car. Shut up, stay in the car. So
I tell you, this next one I got is kind of a long weird, as long as funny.
yeah,
Me and Matt, we were up in Cleveland, and I believe we were up there with his wife to be at the time,
yeah,
and we were all hanging out, and there was another gal up there that I was hanging out with, and we were going to the local bars in the flats of Cleveland. It's a good time.
Yeah.
We're going from bar to bar to bar, and we're walking in between bars. I think we're actually walking back to our car,
Yeah.
about to wrap it up for the night. And some dude won't leave us alone. He's just, one of these guys, he wants some money for something. He didn't want a lot. He wanted like $5. And,
sure,
but he looked normal. He didn't look like a bum.
yeah,
But he just needed some money. But we're like, nah, man, we don't have any money, that spiel. If you hang around a big city enough, you have the spiel. No, we can't help you, man. Sorry, wish we could.
right,
So we are literally on the edge of the Cuyahoga up there. And there are like I guess reverse telephone poles that they're like on the bank that go way down into the edge of the river.
okay,
I don't know. There's probably a better term for them.
okay,
But he climbs up on one of these. It's like 6 foot in the air.
yeah,
And he's standing. He said he's going to jump in the river. And we're just like, at first we're like, don't do it. Then we're like, go. We're like, fuck the guy. He's just going to do it anyways, right? So he jumps in to the Cuyahoga fucking river. It's at night.
that's dumb.
Stupid. And he starts to swim across, and we're kind of all watching him like, this is fucking insane. And then he starts to turn around. Then we all just start running to the car because we don't. Right at that point, we don't want to be involved anymore.
Right.
Because he was just there talking to us.
Yeah.
Then he's jumping in the river. We're like, pew. So I don't know. Hopefully he got out.
You don't even know how the story ends.
That's it. That's how the story ends.
You gave us a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully you made it out, buddy.
No, I'm sure he did.
I'm sure he's not the only person to ever jump into that river.
Yeah, he was up on top of that thing and just woo.
Yeah. We go out for St. Patrick's Day every year. This
Si,
was
senor.
a dick thing that we did in public, but at the same time, what are you going to do?
Hey.
Me and the wife started early. We always start about 6 o'clock on St. Patrick's Day. Great time. Anybody that's looking for a place to go, Cleveland is amazing on St. Patrick's Day. They have the open drinking area down by 4th Street to where you can literally walk around with beer outside, and you get some beautiful days. We've been fortunate the last probably 10 years. We've only had one really cold day. But a friend of ours meets us up there mid-morning, about 10 o'clock, right? So she gets up there. She starts catching up. We're buying shots, having a good time. Well, there's this guy that's been trying to date her, won't leave her alone. So finally she's like, well, I need to ride home from Cleveland anyway. Come on up. He gets up there. He's being super fucking annoying, just driving us all crazy. He's a really good guy. Like, I don't want to take that away from him, but just has one of those personalities where, like, he was young, he was trying a little too hard.
Well, that was it. He didn't know how to act.
Yeah. So we go over to the Hard Rock, and it just doesn't stop. We're inside, we're getting some nachos, throwing down some beers, had some appetizers, and they're just the girls are over it. So I was like, go to the bathroom and just go. So they went to the bathroom, head out. So I gave them about a 3-minute head start, and I'm like, hey man, I'm gonna hit the head real quick too. Hold the fort down till we get back. I didn't even head to the bathroom. Straight out the fucking door I went. So we left this guy sitting there with the check for everything.
Woo!
Right? So we take off. We're this manager comes out and he's like, hey, where are you going? We're like, oh, there's still one guy down there. He's got the check. So we're like literally running through Tower City. We get outside, trying to figure out how to get back to where we're trying to go. We realize that we're going the wrong way. So we start to turn around and down right off of Ontario, going through Cleveland. If anybody knows like where Cleveland Stadium is, the Hard Rock used to be right across from it there. So we head back across. My wife steps off the curb, twists her ankle, to where like she's in super limp mode, trying to get back across.
It's like you're in a horror film.
Right, dude. We get across, and who pops out in the front there? That guy with a couple cops and the manager, because like apparently he barely had enough scratch to cover this thing, and they got us for fucking dining dashing. Dude, we just kept going. We just didn't stop. We acted like we didn't know who anybody was, like we couldn't hear anything. We were all deaf, and we got around the corner and we got away. So we ended up paying the guy back. We floated some money, but he got stuck up there. Had no money to get himself home because he had actually taken a taxi up and was going to take a taxi home. So he had to spend all of his taxi money to cover that bill because they weren't going to let him leave because he was actually at the table with the check. So, and I'm ashamed to say, like we were like in our 30s when this happened. Like this wasn't a 22-year-old making a dumb fucking decision. So don't be an annoying fuck, but don't be a shitty friend even more.
You went with it. And you got away.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good story to tell later.
That's the tough thing because you're going to come back full circle at some point where you're probably going to come face to face with that guy again.
Well, like we've actually ran into him since, and like we paid him back, and like he's moved on with his life. He's got a good life and stuff now to where he's not even worried about her. To where we're okay. You know
what? He's on his podcast right now. He's telling his story.
Right.
Wait till you hear this.
Right? This ignorant motherfucker on St. Patrick's Day couldn't hold his liquor and dine and dashed. So.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's funny. The more that I think about the dumb shit I did in public, the more I keep coming up with ignorant things. So,
well,
way to go, me.
Yeah. This isn't really all that funny.
Yeah.
But we almost got in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
I forget where we were at. It was me, Matt, and my cousin, and we went up to like a Dick's. Or, I don't know, maybe it was like a Target.
What do they sell there?
Dicks? Big floppy dicks? No, I don't remember what store it was, but anyways, we just thought it would be funny.
Sure.
To just go around and find stuff that we would maybe want or maybe we can't afford, and we're just going to throw it in this cart. And we didn't have a packed full shopping cart, but it was full enough. And we're having fun with stuff, too. We're being juveniles. We were probably 16, 17-ish. And finally, we hear the walking. Yeah. 3 juveniles in aisle 17.
Oh, man.
We heard somebody's radio go off. We're like, oh, fuck.
Here we go.
I mean, we're not stealing anything, but from their camera view, they're like, what are these fuckers doing?
Right.
So I don't think we went around it. Maybe we did go around and put everything, but I don't think we did. I think we just left the cart and just got the hell out of there.
Yeah?
Yeah, just like, good luck, put all that shit back.
Right?
So that's kind of a stupid little thing.
Yeah, but still, made it a pain in the ass for him a little bit,
Yeah. But it's one of those things once you realize you're about to get in trouble.
Right.
Stop button.
I got one more. I feel bad again for laughing at this thing. This is the last one that I've got. I hope that the whole family's okay. A couple years ago, we were at a high school football game, and this kid it looked like his leg was pretty jacked.
Oh, in the game?
Yeah, in the game, to where like instantly the game stopped. He's down, and the coaches and stuff are out there, and like the whole place is like quiet, right? And you see this lady get up and come down and start running, and you can tell that it's the mom. You know what I mean? Because like she's literally coming out of the stands. Well, I won't say the name of the high school because I'm sure people know who this lady is. They don't have steps that you walk up to get into their stands. It's a giant ramp. So she gets about 4 steps down that ramp, Dude, total face plant. And I mean, she slides like 2/3 of the way down this ramp, like struggling to where like two people have to come over and help her up. So she's limping out onto the field where her son's already got her leg jacked. And like, we're howling, like trying to keep it in, like, like this kid's jacked up. His high school football career is probably over. And his mom just, it's like, well, runs in the
She's
family.
got a face burn.
Right? One of the guys in front of us this week goes, well, it must run in the family. So our whole section was giggling a little bit like children. So felt a little bad, but.
I got another one. Just hit me.
Oh, man.
We're talking sporting events.
Yeah.
I don't think I've talked about this on the show. By the way, I think you told that story on the show before.
Which one? About her falling?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe not.
Fact check me then. It should be the same story. It's pretty short.
All right. So
Broken leg, mom falls.
we went to the local double A affiliate baseball team.
The Ducks or the Arrows?
This was the
or
Arrows
Indians?
this was the Arrows at the time.
Okay.
And they're up here in sunny Akron, and I'm sitting there with my date, and we haven't started drinking yet because we're not old enough. Or no,
Sure.
I might have been old enough. But anyways, that's not the funny part of the story. Next thing you know, they're announcing the next guy up, and his name, and I'm sure I don't know if he's still a ball player, but his name is Ethan Faggot.
Really?
Now, I don't know if that was the exact pronunciation.
Yeah.
But when you're looking up at that scoreboard, it was pretty fucking close.
If he was French, it could have been like Fagot.
Fago,
With
maybe.
with OT, it would be the O sound probably. but-
So I am sitting there, and like I said, I haven't drank yet,
yeah.
and I have to do it. We are right behind home plate, and I have to do it. Hit the ball, faggot! And the whole section just erupts, and I'm like, I got him.
Was he one of our guys?
No, he wasn't one of our guys.
Then you should have. Then what should you have yelled?
I don't know.
Strike this faggot out.
I think we did all of that. It just started
Ended up
rolling. A couple other guys, meatheads behind me are like, hey,
Yeah.
yeah, come on, faggot.
Yeah.
You can do it.
I'm sure that guy's thinking, yeah, that's real fucking original, asshole.
Oh, yeah.
I've never heard that one before, you dick.
Ethan Faggot. Come on. Who named this kid? Name him Frank Faggot or
Frank.
I don't know.
Is
Something-
Frank a powerful name where you're from?
I don't know. Something more powerful than Ethan. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel bad for the guy. At
Yeah.
what point do you not change your name? Maybe you have a long heritage, but at one point, are you not like,
I'd be using like my mother's maiden name or like my middle name is my last name.
yeah.
Like something. I'd have to change that up. I don't think I could roll with that for
We had,
forever.
we had a guy come into the bar and his credit card. I read his name. It was Brandon Dick Ryder. I'm just
Dick
sitting there,
Ryder.
Dick Ryder.
Really?
I'm like, this can't be real. Did he change it to this?
No, it's true.
He's a
But
true- he's
you
a
wouldn't
true
want,
Dick
as a
Ryder.
guy, you wouldn't want your name to be Dick Ryder.
Nah,
Yeah.
I didn't mention anything to him. I just
Yeah.
cashed him out, hope for a good tip.
Yeah.
So you should have looked at us. So you having a good night?
Yeah. I'm not making fun of them. They're really great people that we know fairly well that live here in town, and their last name is Hiscock.
Hiscock.
Hiscock. Hiscock. Hiscock.
Okay. You just brought me into another one.
Right.
These things are flying in.
Right?
I could probably got in a little bit of trouble for this.
Yeah.
So, god damn. So over here on a road, you know where the I don't want to give the location. Somewhere locally here.
Yeah.
As young perverts, you notice things. And there was this rock, like somebody had this rock with their address on it,
Sure.
and from the side it looked like a fucking dickhead.
Okay.
I wasn't the one to notice it, but still, even after they pointed it out, my buddies, I'm like, yep, you're right. Looks like a fucking dickhead.
You can't unsee it at that
No,
point.
and the name on the rock said Srock, Srock. Sorry, Srock family. So guess what we did?
You got rid of the
We
S, the R.
went and made a stencil, Jake.
Yeah? And you repainted it?
We added Peni,
Penis Rock?
penis rock. I swear to God.
How long did it make it?
Well, it was not very long. They painted it over pretty quick.
Yeah?
But we always wondered, did it like click after that yeah, we got penis rock?
Penis Rock. Did you
Yeah.
get a picture of it, at least like back then?
I think it's still there.
It still says Penis Rock on it?
No, it does not say penis rock.
I think
But
it should again.
We could not believe the ironicism that it said Srock.
The ironicism, is that a word?
I think so. It is now.
I like it if it is.
Was Penis Rock like your Plymouth Rock? Every time you drove by, you're reminded of your freedom.
Right.
I don't know, man.
landed
But
there, start
the
having
fact that it
Thanksgivings
looked
and
like a
shit.
fucking dickhead and the name on it was Srock, and we were like, this is too fucking perfect.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah,
That's pretty awesome.
it was actually.
That's about all I have for the dumb shit in public, man.
Okay.
Kind of done. You got anything else that we haven't hit on yet?
No. No, I mean, I think I'm good.
All right.
Oh, wait, yeah, I do have one more.
Okay. Fire away.
Yeah. All right. Let's see here. What am I looking for? All right. So this kind of goes. I should have tied this. This should have been the wedding stories tied into
The segue.
the segue. So we were at a wedding reception. I was a really young kid,
Yeah.
and I was there with my parents, and they served ham, and we were at actually it was kind of a low key. I think it was a young couple. I think it was my cousin, and they didn't have a lot to spend on the wedding, so they did it at like a, I don't know what maybe. I really don't remember, but the area was a pavilion with a bunch of picnic tables lined up.
True.
And that's where we were eating. So there was rows and rows of people. It wasn't your traditional just tables.
Yeah.
So we're getting ready to eat, and we have our back. We're sitting at the picnic table. We have our back to like the DJ and everything.
Yeah.
So we're all about done, and I think it's I just remember my dad has this ham bone from the particular piece of ham he had.
Yeah.
Half-inch thick by yay round, inch round, and they call everybody to turn around. Well, as he goes to turn around, he elbows the plate, and that ham bone, unbeknownst to him, as he's turning around, the ham bone goes flying over, hits the table, pisses this guy off. He turns around, like we're at a wedding reception, right?
Sure.
I mean, it wasn't like it was thrown; it was just lobbed.
Yeah.
But anyways, it was the ham bone was grenaded.
Yeah.
And this dude turns around. My dad just like looking at him. Has no idea what this guy's even pissed off about.
Yeah.
I know. I saw the whole fucking thing.
Oh, no.
I'm laughing, but I'm not saying the fucking word.
No.
This guy's angry.
You stay the fuck
I
out of
want
that.
my dad to get a fucking jab in the face for something he didn't even know he did.
Right.
The guy finally cooled off and turned around. But
Let it go, huh?
yeah, that was funny for me. I was the only one enjoying that moment.
The flying ham incident.
The flying ham bone.
Man, I
Yeah.
wish I'd have seen that. Well, I know that we've been telling a lot of stories here and stuff that goes on. But there's a topic that I found that I do want to hit on before we're done today,
Let's do it.
just to see kind of what you guys think.
This is kind of a quick hitter.
yeah, but it's something that I think is awesome. We've talked on this show before about how people really aren't afraid to get smacked in the mouth anymore because laws kind of prohibit that, and for good reason on part of it. Like we can't be having women and children getting abused and shit to where. But if you're running your mouth, I still think that there's a time and a place that it gets to a point where you should get smacked in the fucking mouth if you need it once in a while.
I think that some people will even push the envelope because they don't think they're getting smacked.
Yeah. So one of the things that I found out that is interesting, and it almost sounds like we have a little bit of conflicting information on exactly how this works.
Well, I'm no expert.
Yeah, I'm not either. It's just something that I found out, and I just kind of there is a law called the Mutual Combat Law, and we know that it actually exists in Washington State. What was the other state you were telling us, Jake, that has it? Was it New York?
New York, yes.
Yeah.
If there's a police officer present,
Yeah.
you can agree to fight each other.
Yes.
And
So mutual combat can be done between two people. So if you got beef and it needs settled, you can do it right there. And like you said, in front of a police officer. There's a pretty famous video if you get a chance to pull it up on YouTube. The guy's name is Phoenix Jones. This guy was actually a UFC fighter, to where Phoenix Jones was like his alias, to where he would kind of dress up in this costume and like go around kind of fighting crime, in the city, to where there's a video where this tough guy thinks that he's going to whoop his ass, and there's two cops standing right there, and he fucks this guy up.
Well, that's the unfair part.
Yeah, but like you got to know, like if you're willing to throw hands, you got to be willing to take what
if
comes
it's
with it.
mutual combat, you should be like, okay, do you have like a UFC card? And you can't lie about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But I feel like it was one of those things where like I think this would be all right. I mean, I come from an era that I know is a little bit of a bygone era, but like I've seen many a times that two guys get into a fight, like an actual like punch each other fight, but then a couple days they're fine. Sometimes you just got to get it out. You know,
Yeah.
to where keeping all of it penned up.
You mean-
I don't think it's really
You
healthy.
mean they're going to interact again and they're okay with each other?
Yeah, like in like years later they talk about it and it's like, oh, you remember that time, blah blah blah, to where
Well, the old adage was, hey, let's go beat each other up and go have beers afterwards.
right.
It doesn't always work out that way.
No, but I mean, like you even watch a UFC fight; those guys kick the shit out of each other and then they're hugging each other at the end, and like that's real high level trying to knock each other's block off for real. So it's like, so my question to you is, does mutual combat have a place in today's society?
I mean, with some road rage,
Yeah.
which I get every day.
Mhm.
Like I said, I got to be careful who I'm picking on here, but yeah, I mean, if you piss me off enough, let's pull over and shake hands and then beat each other's ass for a minute.
Right. I think that it does. I wish that we would have like every 3 months there would be like, you know, like mutual combat day downtown. You know, to
Along
where,
with
like,
your yearly purge.
yeah, well, I mean, but we could even replace the yearly purge with this. Like, if you have beef in January and on March 1st you still got beef and you want to slug it out, but neither one of you want to go to jail, have a paramedic on scene, you know, to make sure that nobody gets completely jacked up. I mean, but why not? Why not let people get their shit out and get it
Well,
and
then-
get it
then-
and get it resolved?
How about this? You know, you like the entrepreneur avenue.
Yeah.
Why don't you you know, open a little like mutual combat zone,
Yeah.
and then
We could hire a cop just like you would have like at a wedding reception,
right.
like off-duty cop.
You have a
come in.
cop, a paramedic, and make sure it's padded.
Yeah.
So if somebody gets cracked and they fall on their head, they don't bleed to death from a
Right.
cracked skull.
Right.
You know, do it right.
Right. Put a couple rules in place, kind of Fight Club style.
Mutual combat zone.
Dude.
Combat zone.
I think we're sitting on
Combat
gold.
zone.
I'm gonna have the best wedding ever.
Dude, if that was the entertainment at your wedding, that would be the coolest shit of all time. I think we're sitting on a gold mine with that, though.
See, you didn't think of it until I brought that up.
I mean, people come down to the square in our town for everything. I mean, if we blocked the square off in town on a Thursday night and had that, dude, we packed the place.
Ooh, how about this? You have the make it like a fish bowl.
Yeah.
To where it's like padded down below, but then like it's plexiglass up top, so you can like stand above them and watch them duke it out.
No, I mean, even if you had a pit style like that, you know,
Yeah.
to where like the whole crowd's looking
Throw
down
him
in,
in the pit. Throw him in the pit.
right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's a pretty cool thing. I mean, just to where there's an outlet still for people. Like if we mutually agree that we want to smack each other around, we don't want each other to go to jail. You know, I think that it should be okay.
Well, some of the laws I saw. Now this is from Seattle.
Yeah.
So the Washington area.
Yeah. Which Washington was the one that was supposed to have the state statute that allows it.
This
allows
was a cop butting into this conversation. Now this was within the last year. So I don't know if things have changed.
The Phoenix Joe's things was in like 2013 or 2012. So
Okay, so this guy is saying within the last year that there is no mutual combat law. Now this is what he's saying. So I'm not backing him up. He says there has not been for a long time Washington state law simply written in such a way that excluding a bunch of shit like domestic relations,
yeah,
romantic, sexual, family, or roommates even. So you can't be none of them.
yeah,
For the crime of assault
okay,
to occur, there has to be a victim. If two people who are not in a domestic relationship get into a physical fight and one of them gets injured but refuses to assist with prosecution, no crime has occurred. So that's where that is.
So I feel like you got to declare it though at the beginning. If I punch you in the eye, we've agreed to fight. Next thing you know, I punch you in the eye and you've got a fractured orbital. Next thing you know, you're coming after me in a civil suit and you want to press charges of, I mean, it would be assault, but it would probably be
Well, you need to be-
aggravated
you need to
assault
be-
because we knew we were going to fight.
You need to be carrying around your mutual combat contract. Sign here.
Yeah.
I'm going to kick your ass in about 5 minutes. Sign here.
But can we even dumb it down to where it was just like a dance card? Like I hand you my card, you sign it, you hand me your card, I sign it so that we've got the mutual
I got a
together.
better one.
Yeah. Put them on the dance card, baby.
Get your video selfie out real quick out of your pocket.
Yeah.
Do you agree? Yes, I agree. Okay, let's go.
Right.
Boop. Hey, he agreed right there on camera.
Game time. I don't know. I think we solve a lot of problems, man. People get their anger and shut out. Get it on the table.
I've seen, I mean, obviously you have, but
Yeah.
I haven't been in a whole lot of fights, a couple, but I've seen some big motherfuckers just taking turns, smacking each other upside the head.
Yeah.
And it's for me at that time, I mean, I don't know how old I was, 18, 19, it's fucking kind of scary.
Oh, to be around like real physical violence like that,
Yeah.
it's its own thing,
Yeah.
you know? So, I don't know. It's one of those things where I'd be interested to hear what anybody else thinks about it. You know, I just feel like it's one of those things where we're taught so much at a young age now that violence is never the answer. This might not be popular, but I believe that there are times that violence is the only answer.
Well, I mean, I have my ideas and have brought it up before about, bring back the public executions and shit like that.
Right.
Let's do it.
Dude, that pay-per-view would pay off the national debt, man.
I have the islands with the 100 most feared criminals.
Right.
Let's watch it.
Yeah, do you put those guys in death fights? You think the UFC sells these days?
Oh.
You put ultimate death fight on TV, dude. People will tune in, especially from the privacy of their own home, to watch somebody get jacked up.
You've got guys that are never going to get out of prison,
Yeah,
and they're sucking tax dollars.
yeah,
Let's let them fight.
yeah.
Half of them probably would like to.
Oh, I bet a lot of them would sign up for it.
Are there incentives then if you win?
Well, not like reduced sentences, but maybe better commissary.
We get you a real cheeseburger from In-N-Out.
Yeah.
Like, like it ain't gonna be big shit. You're making 11 cents an hour working in the fucking wood shop right now. You know what I mean?
No, it should be some incentive, but not much.
Yeah,
But see, when you're in prison, a little bit of incentive is probably enough.
yeah,
Plus, who doesn't want to be a little bit infamous,
sure.
I mean, you might be in the halls as like Charles Manson.
Right.
He's in there, but everybody knows he's in there, and everybody knows who he is.
Not anymore. He's dead, but
Well, I'm just saying, while he was in there.
I know what you're saying. I don't know, man. I think that it would serve some purpose to it. I mean, I hate to say it, but if somebody's got that in them and we can get a little bit of entertainment out of it, I mean, you're talking about something that would have to be heavily policed, and you're talking about men with nothing to lose.
No, an island
going
where
out with a rusty fork. I mean,
small island where you can't get away.
no, don't do it on an island. Do it in a controlled environment where guys can be brought in and out.
Rusty fork.
I'm just saying, if you're gonna do it all the way.
Yeah.
For the island, is it just like a live 24/7 live stream that just everybody? It's just a free for all, last one standing.
It's a free for all. It's like I said, very small. I don't know how many square feet it would be. Not a lot.
Yeah.
So one of those, beautiful Bermuda Islands or whatever that they just drop them down there, and I mean, hey, you could, and then everybody goes away. They just view it with drones, or however they want to do it. Maybe from boats.
I don't know. I still think that a controlled environment here on the mainland would be the way to handle that.
I mean, you might have it might turn into where they don't want to fight each other. Let's just all try to survive, which they wouldn't survive that long.
That's what I'm saying. You got them signed up to go against one another, and they're lined up and they come in.
Hunger Games.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but not with that many people. Like, you can't throw 15 dudes on an island, because what you're going to have is 14 of them are going to gang up on 2. You know what I mean? And then it's going to keep splintering like that. Like,
I bet you
that's
if you
the
got
ultimate game of Survivor.
I bet you if you got enough former gang members, it would be really good.
If you just plucked one from each one.
Yeah. They probably hate each other.
It probably would breed more hate, though, and more problems. You know what I mean?
Well, you think people would like the only turn down on this would be, oh, do you think people are just being bad so they can get on that show?
Yeah.
I
mean, there would probably be some idiot that would do that. I don't put anything past everybody anymore. Somebody out there is going to.
Somebody would say, well, you're going to the jail for the rest of your life. What? How do you feel about that? Well, maybe I'll be on such and such.
Right.
So fuck it.
American Gladiators Prison Edition. Here we go. Sitting on a gold mine. So if this ends up coming out, I'm telling you what, I think before our lifetime's out, there will be something like this that happens. Maybe not to this degree, but there will be some kind of a public execution or something like that again. I just got a feeling that it's coming. That's my opinion. So anyway, let me know what you guys think. Thanks again so much for joining us for the ride tonight. You got anything else before we wrap up? Or
Me? No, I'm good. I was just gonna give a quick shout out to Ethan Meeksel for the Demilitarized Zone. That's our intro music.
Yes.
And our outro, which you're listening to right now, is called The Licorice Song, and it is by Endless Love.
Yeah.
Which Jake likes that name because that's what it's all about.
I love this song. It is. It's all endless love. So if you go to weddings, have a good time. If you see some funny shit out in public, enjoy it, because it's going to be you we're laughing at some point in time. And
Yeah.
let us know what you think of the mutual combat law. Draw a line in the sand. Find out what you're made of.
That's right.
That's all I got.
All right. Well, pip.
Cheerio.